Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 3, Episode 179. It is Tuesday morning, and obviously yesterday was a holiday, spent time with my family, and now we're back to work. This morning I am going to a casino first. It's early, it's cold outside, mid-40s for the temperature, and I want to get at least one session in before work because I have so many meetings today, and it's really, actually the whole week, it's really going to cramp my style. It's going to be very hard for me to make money throughout the week because of it. Today I have 6 meetings. Thursday I have 8 meetings. Friday another 6 meetings. So these are really going to hurt. They're going to slow me down, keep me from being able to make money, and I'm going to have to get more and more creative throughout the week to be able to get into casinos and to extract funds from them. So that's what's happening there. Yesterday, Monday, I got home at about 9 o'clock in the morning, laid down for a minute, like literally a few minutes, and got up. Got my son ready to go, and then we took his mom's van and we went to a friend of ours and had him take a look at it because there's some weird alerts coming up on the screen and we couldn't understand what was going on, and he used his scanner that looks at all the codes on a system to find out what's going on, and he found nothing. So although all these messages were coming up with failures, when he would scan it, nothing came up. So he actually went through every fuse and tested every fuse and could not find a problem. So I had the idea of maybe just resetting the system and seeing what happens. So we disconnected the battery for about 10 minutes and then connected it again. And since then, there have been no messages at all. We've driven it over 100 miles with no messages. So hopefully it was just some kind of a error, fluke, something, and everything is going to be okay there. I did take my son fishing, and we had a good time. I think he caught about 7 fish in, I don't know, not very long, hour and a half or so. It started getting really hot, so we ended up leaving, went home, and as soon as I walked in the house, they had a list of things for me to do. They were planning on putting these porch lights out, the strings of lights that people put out, and then you have your porch and you have them strung all over the place. They wanted those out, and last year, or earlier this year, I guess, I had bought a bunch of wood that I was going to use to attach these lights to. So they're like long 8 or 10 foot pieces of wood, like 1.5 or 2 by 2, and I used my table saw to cut them so they had a sharp end on the bottom, hammered them into the ground, got the lights all strung out, and it looks real nice outside now, so that's all good. And then a bunch of other stuff in the house, and then take this kid there, take this kid there, and then my wife wanted to go to dinner, so we tried to go to dinner, but the place we wanted to go to was closed for Labor Day. Never heard of such a thing before. And we ended up going to like a Japanese steakhouse type place, and we had a decent dinner there and came home, and then I got more stuff done for work and we rested. So this morning I'm ready to go. I'm full of energy. I'm excited, ready to make money. I know my ability to make money today is going to be very limited, so I would be happy with like $300 or $400 today, just because I really can't go anywhere to make money, and then maybe even possibly go play some poker tonight. Tomorrow is my usual overnight. I don't know if I will do that or if I will just go somewhere and come back. Everything is still up in the air as far as that. So for now, I'm going to let you go, heading off to my first casino, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am still on my way to the first casino of the day. go on next month, or he's going to go on next month. And he says he plans to bring some cash on the cruise. And he had remembered me talking about possibly charging my card on the cruise to get points and then get cash out on my card, and asked me how that worked out. And as it turned out, there was a fee, and it was not worth it for me to do that. I thought that it was a good idea, but I think if you are a high enough level with the cruise ship, that they will do that for you, no charge, for a certain amount of money per day. So I think that's where someone had told me that they did that, and I was not able to do it because I was not a high enough tier with the cruise company to be able to do that. So, and then he asks about carrying money on the cruise and on the trip, and there's a lot of different things we have to worry about, right? We have to worry about if it's over 10,000 going out, if it's over limits going into countries, things like that. And then if you win a lot of money, what do you do? And so it's kind of a complex question, but I'm going to do my best to answer it. And here's my experience. My experience is most places that you're going to go, you're going to have money with you on the ship, and then you're going to leave the ship with your money and do whatever, and then come back to the ship. So there is a safe in your room on the ship, so you can leave money in your safe, and then you can go to a shady place with less money or no money, or however you want to do it. As far as the Mediterranean and Europe, I noticed that a lot of European countries are mostly credit cards, and if you use a card that's a good card, I noticed like my local bank was not a good way to do it, but like my Chase credit card was a good way to charge things, and I got really good exchange rates and no fees on it. So that might be a possibility for you. If you want to carry a lot of money with you for gambling, what do you do? And so let's say you take under 10,000. Let's say you take $8,000 with you out of the country, and you win a bunch of money at casinos on the cruise ship, and now you're trying to figure out, how am I going to get this money back in the country? Well, there's some easy ways to do that. For one thing, the one thing that I do is I pay down my cruise with that money. So if I bring $8,000 with me and I win $5,000, now I have 13. Well, I can actually pay on my room with that. You have the tips and fees, taxes, all those things. Or if you buy things on the ship, it's charged to your room and then eventually to your credit card. Well, instead of your credit card, I would just go downstairs and say, hey, I want to pay $1,000 toward my room. And you could get away with that. That way, you're reducing the amount of cash that you have in your pocket. You're coming back to the States with less than $10,000, and you get around all that stuff. It's still your money. You may not get credit card points for paying down $1,000 on your trip, but at least you don't have that cash anymore. Another thing is Bitcoin. So especially the area that you're going to, I'm not going to name specific places because someone told me in confidence, but there are a lot of countries in your area there that you're going to be visiting, or near where you're going to be visiting, where Bitcoin is very easy to come by, very easy to buy. And I don't know if you've ever had any kind of digital wallet before. You may want to experiment with that, or maybe even if you want to go an easy way and you're going to have it all on your taxes anyway, maybe with a Coinbase or something like that, you can actually use one of the Bitcoin machines, buy it, add it to your Coinbase account, and then when you come home, or not even when you come home, you could add it to your Coinbase account, cash it out immediately from your Coinbase account into your checking account, and now you just took it from cash in your hand to your checking account within hours. So that's another option. Obviously there's a lot of different things that you can use. You could buy something valuable and bring it back. I don't really recommend that, because a lot of valuable things, there might be some shady places in whatever country you're in. You go buy jewelry and it ends up not being real, and then you have no way out. You could buy nice watches, things like that, but I wouldn't recommend that too much. But I would imagine that if you're going to be on a cruise ship, you're probably not going to be winning 20 or 30,000. You might be winning a few $1,000s, and hopefully this information is helpful to you. I'm just walking into the casino right now, and I'll come back and update you. All right, guys, I am back. So I'm a little frustrated right now. I'm actually in the parking lot of this casino, just sitting here. I just finished my session, and I would kind of tell you what happened here. I go in, and first machine I look at has a borderline play. And I'm thinking, I'm just going to leave this right now. I may play it, I may not. We'll see. I'll come back to it. So I check a bunch of other stuff. I find a couple small plays. I'm ahead like $40, and then look around some more, find a couple other things, and then I'm ahead about $80. So I come back to that machine, and there's a chair turned around, and I had seen a guy walking around checking machines, but he was gone. So I said, well, maybe he's just stepped away to get some money and he'll be back. But I'm like, if he's doing what we're doing, it's only like less than $2 a spin. Why does he need to go get money, right? So there's only one thing it could be, and that is he's shooting an angle, and he's trying to go check all the machines and play the best ones first and then come back, which is what I was doing, right? But I wasn't doing that with a chair, holding it up with no money in there. So the way that they see it at this casino is, if there's no money, there's no card in the machine, anyone can have it. If someone left 10 cents in the machine and their player's card, you should leave it alone, give it at least a half hour. If they don't come back, then you can have it. And they would say, just cash out the voucher, let it sit there with their card, and if they come over, give them the card and the voucher. So this guy didn't do any of that. All he did is he turned the chair around and he left. Come back 10 or 15 minutes later, and it's still like that. So I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to just wait forever for this guy? Maybe he left. Maybe he decided not to play it. Is he marking it so that he can come back in 3 or 4 hours to play it? How long do you give a person? So I ended up sitting down, and I sit in the chair for about 5 or 6 minutes. I push the button for help, and nobody comes still. He's still not there. So then I load up my free play, had a couple bucks in free play. I loaded those up, waiting. He's still not there. So I'm like, I'm playing this. I start playing it. I get about $40 deep in this machine, and then he comes around, and he's all upset. And I'm like, what are you upset about? He's like, well, you know what it means when the chair's turned around. I said, you're not here. You don't have any money in there. I waited for you. And he's like, oh, you're shady. All you're trying to do is steal from people. I'm not shady. I'm not trying to take anything from anybody. You didn't have anything in the machine. You weren't near the machine. You didn't have your card in the machine. You didn't have a penny in the machine. There was nothing. Even if you didn't have a card, but you had 10 cents in the machine, then maybe I wouldn't have done anything because the seat was turned around and there was 10 cents in the machine. But there was none of that there. So he got all upset, and all he wanted to do was tell me how shady I was. And I said, look, I'm in this machine almost exactly $40. Do you want the machine? Give me the 40 and you can have the machine. No, I'm not paying you for the machine. I'm like, well, that's what I have in it. If you were going to play it, that's where you would be right now. Do you want it? And he gets all upset and leaves, and he's like, I've seen you around all the local casinos. You know me. You should know better. I'm like, no, I shouldn't know better because there was no proof that anybody was here. So, I don't know. Give me your opinion. Am I totally wrong here? I don't think I'm wrong. I gave him plenty of time. Total, between everything, between walking around and sitting there, I gave him between 20 and 25 minutes, and nobody came back. I think that's plenty of time. And if you want to walk into a casino and turn 10 seats around so you can have 10 free plays, I don't think so. That's not the way things work. You know, I know that sometimes I see an okay play, I say I'm going to come back to it because there could be other plays, because you can't hold a machine like that. So anyway, it's just very frustrating. I don't have any enemies, and now for this guy to act like that to me, I don't like that at all. And if I ever do see him again, I'm going to talk to him about it. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't, but I just think that that's wrong what he did there. So that's shooting angles, and you can't just turn around every chair in the casino and say nobody can play. So anyway, I ended up playing that machine and ended up ahead 110, 120, somewhere like that. Well, I'll tell you, 100 and let me think here. It's $124. I ended up ahead on that machine, even with starting down $40. So he would have made money if he wanted it, but that's what he chose. So whatever. Anyway, I left that casino, and right now I'm heading toward work. Gonna be in the office for a very long time. I've got just a little bit of time today to get lunch, not enough time to go anywhere. So we're gonna be stuck at the office till after 4, and then we'll probably head back here again and try to make some money. So that's what's going on right now. I'll be back. All right, real quick. The other thing I wanted to say is I pushed the button and the attendant came, and I told them what was going on, and they said, you can play the machine. You can't save the machine that way. They don't have any kind of way of saving it. They don't have a jacket on it. They don't have money in it. They don't have a card in there, so you cannot save a machine that way. And she said that you waited long enough, that it's more than reasonable for you to take the machine. And on the way out, one of the security guys saw me and he asked me what was going on, and I told him, and he's like, no, you can't do that here. And there's a lot of people going around doing that, and then they try to get money out of you or something for the machine. You can't do that. So anyway, I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. It is 4 o'clock. Just finished up my last meeting of the day, and I am heading out. I'm going to the casino I was at this morning, and we're gonna see what we can find there. Had a long day, exhausting day, so tiring sitting through those slow meetings. Lex Friedman recently did an interview with Elon Musk, and it was his longest interview that he ever did, was 8.5 hours long. And in the beginning of that, I haven't listened to the whole thing yet, but I will be. At the beginning of that, Elon Musk and Lex Friedman talk about how when you start listening to podcasts at 1x and 2x, 1.5x and 2x, that you can't go back to normal life. Everything else is so slow, and I feel like that's what happens to me. When people talk to me, I feel like they're going so slow, and I just want to fall asleep listening to them. But I listen to podcasts at a very fast speed, and even Elon Musk was saying that it helps you concentrate when it's going at a faster speed too. But anyway, glad that's all behind me, and I'm moving on right now. We're going to try to make some more money. I hadn't thought about it until now, but what happened to me this morning with that guy, I don't feel like I did anything wrong there, and just let me know if you think that I did. But anyway, I'll be back. All right, guys, I'm back. So remind me to tell you the story about how I took the money out of the tip jar just now. So I walk into this place, start looking around. I'm seeing nothing. I see a small play that through, look around. The place is wiped out other than that. So I'm walking around, and I see a guy playing a machine. I'm like, I'll just come back and play it. And I come back later, and there's nothing on that one. So I'm like, well, I guess it's time to leave. I didn't really make any money. And then I see another one that's just over positive EV. So I sit down at that one. It's $2 a spin. I play that one through. I actually did good on that one, did well on that one too. And I ended up ahead $188 for the session. But I checked so many machines, and there was just nothing available. And the guy that I talked to this morning that I had the problem with this morning wasn't there. He's probably moved on to try to steal from some other people right now, so whatever. But then I realized yesterday was a holiday. I didn't come over yesterday to take a look, and I still had free food. So I got myself some chicken, no fries. I asked for an extra piece of chicken since I wasn't getting fries, and most of the time they say no. But you know what they say? Persistence beats resistance. And if you ask the right person, if you ask enough times, the answer is going to be yes. 20 no's and 1 yes is still a yes. So I got that extra piece of chicken, sat down, relaxed, ate that. And then when I first ordered the chicken, I look down and I see $1 bill in the tip jar. It's like a little basket. And I'm like, I really want that $1 bill. And I asked the lady, can I have that dollar? And she said, why? And I said, well, because it's got a Where's George stamp on it. She's like, what's that mean? And I'm like, well, Where's George is, you go to where'sgeorge.com. If you see a bill that's stamped with that on there, and you type in the serial number of that bill, and then it asks you your zip code or the zip code where you found it. You put that in there, you type in where you found it, and it makes like a story for that $1 bill or 10 or 50 or whatever the bill is, and you can see where that $1 bill has gone and how many miles per day it's traveled. It's pretty cool. And I've got kids that like to do that. So I said, can I have it? And she said yes. So I replaced it with one of my dollars. Can you imagine? I asked for the $1 out of the tip jar, and I only replace it. I don't even leave an extra tip. Man, that's terrible. How awful of me to do that. But anyway, I ended up ahead $188. Everything is good. Traffic is horrendous, just horrible right now. I haven't even gotten to the on-ramp to get on the highway yet, and there is a line of gotta be 150 cars ahead of me, so it's gonna take a minute to get through all these lights to get there. But at this point, I think I'm gonna call home, see if anything's going on, and if nothing is going on, I may do something sneaky, so stay tuned. I'll be back. Alright guys, we're going to call it a day. I was going to go do one more thing, but I guess I'm not going to now. So we'll call it a night. If you have any questions or comments, the email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you tomorrow.